Hello, my name is Ian Farnath, and I'm a sales engineer at RENVU Solar Distribution. I'm going to show you how to use the Solar Kit Guide, which is a instant solar design and quote tool. We use this in-house at RENVU, and our users can use this on the website in order to generate a photovoltaic system quote for residential and small commercial systems. And I'm going to show you how to use this really quickly. Note that you can use this extensively, probably take an hour or two to put together many different quotes of different styles, but just for the sake of time and just to show you the tool really quick, I'm going to go through this as fast as I can, and I think I can get it done in about 5 minutes. Alright, so first page, I'm going to select full system. That'll give us everything. If we want to deselect some items, we can, just to if we already have panels or whatnot, that's an option to us. However, I'm going to go with full system. I'm going to choose microinverters for simplicity, but you can also choose optimizer systems and string inverter systems. I'm going to choose the number of panels and the brands. If you don't know and you need some help, we'll guess for you. But I always recommend just choosing the brands just so you can get a little more options. Alright, next page, we find panels. You can sort these into wattage, manufacturers, cells, technology, but in general, I usually just pick something from the first page. I'm going to go with, let's say, Paymar 300. That looks good. I like a black on black panel. It's 60 cell. That's good for most residential systems. Let's see how that goes. Alright, so next page, we have racking. You can choose tilted roof setups, flat roof setups, ground mount setups. I'm going to choose tilted roof just for simplicity. Most systems are tilted anyway. I'm also going to choose comp shingle. You can also, but if you wanted, you could do Spanish tile, flat tile, metal roof. We have many different styles of the metal roof and flat tile and Spanish tile attachments, but usually comp shingle is chosen, so let's go with that. I'm going to choose one array. I'm going to choose 2 rows of 10, so give me a second to punch that in. And I'm going to keep it portrait orientation because that'll give us less railing. If you want to see what that looks like, just scroll down and you can see right here the racking sketch. Let's say we want to do landscape real quick. We can choose that instead. Maybe that's more of what we're looking for. So let's go with landscape. Note that it will select more railing, but I mean, maybe you need that distance there. Okay. Next thing, Unirack option, racking advanced options. I'm going to select Unirack for the system manufacturer, but if you wanted, you could do the Unirack railless system, the Iron Ridge, or the Equilibrium railless system. I'm going to choose quick mount because it's the default. I'm going to go with a clear rail. However, I'm going to switch to black clamps because we have a black frame panel. Usually, if you have a black frame panel, it's more aesthetically pleasing to have black clamps. However, you can go with clear rails to save some cost. You're only going to see them maybe on the side at a certain angle, so it's usually pretty concealed, and you can save, a substantial amount of money if you wanted to go that route. Okay, so I'm going to assume a 4-foot span for the distance between L feet. That's a pretty conservative assumption. If you wanted to save a little bit of money, you could go with a 6-foot or an 8-foot span, but you'd want to check with Unirack to see if they can support that for your location. I'm also going to assume light rails. That works for most states. Only in very snowy states, maybe you have to go up to standard rail with a 4-foot on center design, but let's just do light rail because most places in California where we're located can handle that. Okay, so next page we get the microinverter options. So there's a few different ways to go about how to select the microinverters, but the easiest one that I look for is this panel to inverter power rating ratio. Usually 125% is like the rule of thumb for the industry. I always agree with that, but I mean some situations would merit a 1-to-1 ratio, and that, just so you know, that's the panel rating, so the 300 watt rating to the output rating of the microinverter. The 7 Plus has a 290 output, and then the 7 has a 240 output. So it gives you that 120% ratio there, and the idea is that the panel will always produce a little bit less than this STC rating in most conditions, but the inverter is always going to try to produce as much as possible. So you want to try to match that. There's a few other options here, but I'm going to just choose this for simplicity. And note that I'm assuming the minimum temperature in the area. You can play around with that and get a few different options here as well. Okay, so next page, it'll give us the rest of the equipment and the balance of system. That's what that stands for. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick the cables, connectors, and wire clips, disconnects, labels, tools. I'm going to add all that in. I am going to not add in personal protective equipment, but you can if you want. I'm also not going to add in vent pipe relocators, but that's something you might want to look at if you have a lot of vent pipes. I'm also not going to add the attic fan. That is a useful system if you're trying to have a little bit of heating and cooling action for your attic. It's pretty neat. You get the 30% rebate on it. Check it out, but for now I'm going to take it off. I'm also going to add in the full permitting package. What that is a system design permit package, a PDF document that will have your system on it. Our engineering team will take a look at this quote once you pay for it and put together the permitting set that you can submit to your local authority having jurisdiction, AHJ. Most places want you to have this just to permit you to have a PV system on your house. But some places do not need it, so you can check with your local AHJ or utility to see if you need this. Sometimes they just want a single line diagram for the electrical. We can offer that as well. So once you have all that, hit finish, and it's going to generate the bill of materials. So here you go. Here's everything. Really quick, you can take a look here, but you probably want to generate a project and email this to yourself just so you can save it. Go ahead and agree to the terms and conditions here. That's basically just saying that we got you about 90% of the way there. It's up to you on the last 10% to make sure that this is correct. This tool is changing constantly. It helps us design quotes faster, but you should definitely take a look at each item that you're going to be putting onto your house and make sure that you understand all of the equipment. Mainly the racking and the inverters would be the biggest thing to look at, the installation manuals for those. And I can show you how to find those in just a moment. So right now it's generating a project. It gives you a proposal number. If you ever need to call in and ask questions about this equipment, give us this and we can help you out really quick. It gave you a subtotal on the equipment, the shipping cost, the UPS shipping insurance cost, highly recommended there, the tax cost, and the total. You can name the project, project 123, and give yourself a PO number if you want. You can put project notes in there. You can add a new shipping address if you want. You can have shipping methods, all that fun stuff. All right, so here's all the equipment. If you want to edit the quote, now is your opportunity to do so. Let's say, I don't know, you don't need the permitting service anymore. It turns out you don't need it for your area. You can just go ahead and delete that. It'll update the cost for you. And then maybe you want to have a few more, these field wireable connectors. So let's go to 4 of those. And then we want to add those in, so it'll automatically update that for you in just a moment there. Just to go over the rest of this project section, we also have the product documents down here. You can sort them into the panels, inverters, racking, all that. If you need to know anything about the racking system, you can find it all down here. Let's say you want to know about how to install the racking system. You can select the installation guide and go through that in your own time to discover all the different aspects of the Unirack installation process. You can also check out the Solar Kit Guide summary. If you forgot, oh geez, how was this set up again? It's 2 rows of 10 in landscape. Great. All right, that's good to know. Okay, so here you go. You have a proposal set up for yourself. I would encourage you to take a look at all this equipment, see if you have any edits to make, anything like that, go through it, spend a little time with it, generate different quotes, make sure you're getting the best cost that you can. Make sure to check in with us if you have any questions on availability of products, compatibility of the equipment, any other general questions at all. We have a sales engineering team that can help you out with pretty much any questions, and the best way to get started is just to create a few different projects, proposals for yourself, and play around with the website and see what works for you. And just so you know where to find this proposal, when you come back to RENVU.com, go to this projects section. You'll have all of your proposals in one location in the projects section, and you can find it here. So if you have any questions from there, please let us know. Again, this is Ian Farnath at RENVU Solar Distribution. Thank you.